Okay, hey guys, welcome. This is Joe Anthony here. I am so excited today, guys, because today we have a special guest, and she has basically taken time out of her busy schedule. She is the host of the LEAH BELDING talk show on Sundays. I think it broadcasts at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. She's in Texas. She is a amazing personality. You're going to love to listen to her show on klif.com. And we have LEAH BELDING. Welcome to the show today.
This is so neat to be able to do this. Hi, Wendy.
And there's Wendy.
I can see you.
Nice to see you.
Are you doing? You're doing yours on your laptop computer?
I am today. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because I'm doing it on my cell phone. I'm having to hold my cell phone. And
Yeah, you just have to like use
it's so
one hand to hold your arm up, right?
Yeah, I have to hold my right. But as you can see, I have my favorite place to put my. Can you see
You
it?
look great as always.
Can you see that? My patch.
Nice.
I have my patch.
Love it.
I see
This
it.
happens to be
Yes.
my favorite place to put it.
I have
What
mine
about,
on
what
hers.
about you? What about you? Have you ever put your patch there?
I normally put my Nirvana patch there. I have one time at night because I wasn't sure about wearing it there during the day, but actually, you know what? I should just do that.
People do notice it when I'm wearing it. People do notice it. And I tell them, they go, what is that? And I go, it's my stem cell patch. It gives me energy. And, this kind of look at me when I'm at Starbucks or whatever. But I'm usually in a hurry, but I need to, sit down and tell them, do you want to know more about this?
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to give them away a bunch of free patches because, they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
That's why they're so worthy, because people have to pay. Because if you give somebody a free patch, they don't, really pay that much attention to it because it's free. So if
Very
they
good.
pay something for it, then they know they should pay attention to it because they paid to wear it. That's why I want people to pay me just a nominal fee so they will at least value this because they'll think, oh, it's just like a Band-Aid or whatever. It's not a Band-Aid. It is definitely nanotechnology in real life. That's what it is.
Right.
Nanotechnology in real life.
So here's a question, and that's a great idea. Somebody once said, if you were giving away free milk, why would people want to buy the cow? If you're going to give them free milk, they'll just keep coming and getting free milk.
That happens to be my mantra in my personal life. It really has. I don't know if anybody is single out there, but let me tell you, I have been married 3 times. Because
Just 3?
3, yeah. Well, I'm working on the 4th one right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm always working toward it because I look at it that the more people I marry up to, the more recruits I might be able to get. And
Wendy, listen to her, Wendy.
Oh my gosh.
So, it's just more people to meet out there, more people to meet. So they really need to have marriage certificates that are, temporary, like, 3-year, 4-year, whatever. Then you can move on to a new family. I'm a big believer in that.
That's great. Well, that's one of the cool things about the patches. The patches basically put people in the same frequency, or at least that's what I've found, many times. I think Wendy can attest to this too, but when you are in the same mindset, you have the same frequency, the same mindset, we vibrate at the same, frequency. That's how birds of a feather flock together, right? So you're matched. You're vibrating and you're matched. You want to be with somebody that matches to your vibration.
Let's prove that right now. I've got a color in my mind. I'm thinking of a color. Who can guess it?
I don't know. Turquoise.
Come on, Anthony.
I would say pink.
Oh, that's because you're wearing a pink cap. Okay, you're both wrong. Yellow.
Oh, okay. That was my next guess.
See, you were close.
I knew it was a happy color. I knew it was a,
right,
those bright happy colors.
So So tell us basically, kind of start, let our audience know, how long have you been wearing the patches, or when did you first try the patch, and when did you first discover that you were getting some results from it, I guess?
For me, immediately, as soon as I put the patch on. As soon as I put the patch on, I got an immediate feeling of a good, cozy, warm, fuzzy feeling. Because if I don't get an immediate reaction, just like going out on a date, if you don't feel that immediate chemistry on that very first date or whatever, it's a no-go afterward. So it's just like wearing the patch. If you really don't feel anything that first day, don't wear it. I did. That's why I'm wearing mine.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. And you have a story that I know our audience would love to hear, because everybody has a story. And that's one of the things that I love about the patches, because everybody has a different story. Mine is different than Wendy's, and yours is different than mine. And tell us about the story that has to do with feet.
Yes, I have really, really flat feet. And I always like to wear high heels, because I have to wear high heels. I mean, that's just all there is to it. No matter how much pain I experience, I've got to look good, So I will, accept the pain and everything just to look good, because I'm so vain. So I decided that one day, why not put the patch on the bottom of each foot? I did, and let me tell you, my feet did not hurt at all. My feet wore me out. I mean, my feet didn't wear me out. I mean, my feet had so much energy, they wanted to keep going when the rest of the body wanted to rest. My feet were not tired. Cool. I put the patch on the bottom. Now, then I went outside and I started watering some plants and everything. And I was wearing sandals. So I got some water underneath my feet there. So I kind of lost a patch. And this is a true story. I lost one patch on my foot, and I was not aware of it. And later on, I felt unbalanced. I'm going, why am I feeling unbalanced? I should not be feeling sort of wobbly or unbalanced, because then I noticed, oh my God, I'm missing a patch on one of my feet. I have it just on one feet. So I totally recommend that if you're going to wear, two patches, to wear them in a balanced situation on your body. Like put one on the right, one on the left. One on the right and one on the left, to keep yourself balanced.
That's awesome.
So I have a question. If you normally don't have good balance and you wear just one, will that balance you out?
I really think it is important to wear two, and you need to balance it out. I really do, And so when I discovered that, I immediately went and put a patch on my missing, foot, and I felt better already. And I don't know if people think, it's only psychological, but I really think that because I read up about nanotechnology and, what we normally have in our bodies are the magnetic field. I believe it really has a lot to do with that. I'm such a firm believer. So in order to save all my patches, my patch inventory, I'm wearing just one in the middle of my body. It should be in the middle of your body, I believe, the center. If you're just going to wear one. So today I'm only wearing one, and it's in the middle of my body. I love it right here in my neck area. I really do. I think it just gives me that warm, cozy feeling.
That's actually where they suggest to put the nerve on it, is either right here or, on like your arm, like right here. But that is where you have it on your neck is one of the areas.
Another thing I discovered is that the X39 gives, like the other patches, an extra oomph, because one day I put the alongside my X39, the Nirvana, and I started yawning in the middle of the day. I felt so relaxed. I finding myself yawning, and I'm going, gee, it's because I've got the Nirvana and the X39 together. They were together, and it was doing something to each other. It's like, wow, it just gave it extra energy, extra buzz to Nirvana.
Interesting.
So I'm a walking example of that.
Wendy, you had something similar.
Which story? Because I have some different experiences.
Well, the idea of being a little tired, like a little bit more tired, or maybe too relaxed or something.
So once in a while, when I first started taking or wearing the patches, I have like an abundance of energy, and I still do. I still have more stamina and more energy. But I've noticed some days lately I've been getting like extremely like just tired where I want to take a nap. And I was wondering if it's maybe because I was talking to Joseph earlier. When you're a child and you go through a growing spurt, you know, you get extra tired. Or when your body's healing, you get tired. So I'm wondering if the longer I've been wearing the patches as my body is healing, like those days that it's going through extra healing process, if maybe it's actually making me a little tired while my body heals. Because for the most part, they give me energy, but I'm wondering why I'm getting these like days where I feel like I need to nap, you know? And then when I wake up, I feel like amazing. But so I don't know. It's just a thought.
Are you wearing their Nirvana when you're feeling you need to nap?
I wear the Nirvana and X39 every day. And for the most part, I have energy, sustained energy all day. It's just I'm having these certain days where I feel like, wow, I'm just really more tired than normal. And then I'll take a nap and I feel better. So it's making me wonder if it's a healing process.
What about hydration as a factor? I'm just throwing that out there because one of the things they tell you in the instructions is to hydrate regularly, you know, so drink a lot of water.
Yes, you definitely need to drink a lot of water with them because they also, you know, are helping with getting rid of toxins and inflammation in your body. And you always need to drink a lot of water when you're doing that.
Have you noticed that you urinate more? You should notice that you urinate more. That's the sign that you're getting more water in your body.
Yes.
That's how I have been noticing that myself. So therefore, I drink more water and then I urinate more. So therefore, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because the toxins are leaving your body only through your elimination. If you do not eliminate properly, your toxins are not leaving your body. I think that's the very first sign. If you get constipated, people don't like to talk about constipation, or they don't want to talk about how much they urinate. But to me, that is so extremely important. I need to have a show about that. That people need to really take notice of that.
I agree. I agree. I feel like the more you eliminate, you know, at everybody, the better, because it is all toxins when it's inside of you. Yeah. So
exactly.
Like they say, dilution is the solution. So you need to be drinking a lot and flushing it out, you know, as much as you can.
Exactly. Have you ever wore a patch like on your forehead? I thought about doing that. Have you ever done that?
I haven't, but I've thought about if I have a really bad headache, next time trying to stick it on my forehead and see how that helps.
If you have a bad headache, put one on your neck area, I believe, on both sides of your neck. I really think that a lot of our tense muscles in our neck causes headaches. I really do believe that.
I do. I wear the X39 on the back of my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great question, or that's a great point, Leah. One of the things that Wendy and I were experimenting with is the LifeWave, which comes with two patches. One is tan and the other one is white. And it's recommended that you put the tan right on the pain. So for example, let's say my lower back pain, I have lower back pain. I would put the tan patch right on where the pain is, the worst, say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10. And then somebody else will take the white and like a clock, start at 12 o'clock and then move it 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and keep asking you, what is the pain now? And you want the pain to go from whatever it starts at to 0. You want to get the pain to be 0. And it works in seconds, right, Wendy?
You can leave it in one spot anywhere from just like 30 seconds to 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or even a couple minutes. And then you clockwise move them around.
Wow, that is amazing.
And they suggest actually taking only one side of the sticky, the tape. You know, there's like a tape or whatever you call that you remove from the adhesive. Just taking one side of it off. That way you can easily grab it and move it.
Very interesting idea. Because once they stick on there, they really stick on there really tough. I mean, it's hard to get them off. Yeah, they really cling to the skin. I noticed that.
You know, my daughter, that's an interesting point, because my daughter, Leah, she's 24. She tried to wear the patches and she does hair. She's a beautician, and I don't know, her skin is just sensitive, but she said she was getting a reaction, like itchy skin or something. And you can actually put it on your clothing. I don't know if you knew that. You can put the patch right over.
I did not know that.
And it's because it's basically infrared, what is it? Infrared light, or so it goes through your clothes.
If somebody ever says, "Hey, Leah, you know, my skin is sensitive," you can just tell them they can put it right over their clothing, you know, whether it's a male or female, depending on the spot that they put it on. Because animals like horses don't lie. They are patched also. And they're seeing amazing results with horses, getting them to be, you know, relieving pain right away. And you just put it right on the horse. So you have horse hair, you know, you just put, same thing with dogs and I guess cats too.
That's amazing that it stays on the hair. The hair doesn't cause the patch to fall out.
I'm sure it doesn't stick as good, but it does work. If you can get it to stay on there, maybe, I don't know, maybe they put something else to keep it on. What the point is, it goes through the hair and it still works if you can get it to stay on.
Wow, that is really
Some
amazing.
people put it on the inside of the dog's collar or something, you know, just to get it to stay on. So.
I mean,
that is really amazing.
There's stories that I've read. One woman, she took a hat, like a hat like this, and what she did is she put different patches inside the hat, and then wears the hat. And it got rid of headaches and, you know, migraines and all kinds of, you know, so like you were saying about putting the patch right on your forehead, you could actually, I mean, if you had a hat or something, you could, like a scarf or something maybe.
That is really amazing, because I do wear lots of hats. I just like something being right on my skin. I'm a real touchy-feely person. I just like having something touch me.
Well, that's one of the things. That's what the patches are. It's like a Band-Aid. You know, like you put a Band-Aid on. So if you can wear a Band-Aid, you should be able to wear a patch.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great.
Oh, I love your laugh.
Well, I think that's what your part of what we loved about doing your radio show is you have amazing personality to, you know, attract your audience and to keep your audience listening. We got about 20 calls. It was really amazing. From that
that is great.
Yeah.
That is great.
So it's really one of the things that I was talking with Wendy, and I mentioned it, Wendy, to Leah, is that, you know, having a Leah, maybe Leah and Wendy, you guys, you could have like a health and wellness vodcast where people can kind of tune in and you can talk about different things, you know, health related, because obviously we want people to try the patches. We want them to sample the patches, but we also want to educate people about drinking water, you know, hydrating, and other ways that they can keep healthy and they can manage their energy level throughout the day. Not having to drink 10 cups of, you know, Starbucks coffee or something. So have you noticed that you don't drink as much coffee now that you wear the X39?
Well, I only drink 1 cup of coffee, and it's decaf, you know, in the mornings. So I don't really, you know, drink coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine, because I can't have a lot of caffeine in my body or I start flying around the room.
Can we see that someday?
I talk, like if I have caffeine, I'll start talking really fast. And
Me faster? You
yeah,
talk now?
faster. Plus, I won't be able to sit still with caffeine. So I try to avoid caffeine, which is so great. With the patch, gives me energy without having to worry about caffeine or wanting to have caffeine, because the patch does give me energy.
And haven't you noticed, Leah, that it's more of a it's sustained, relaxed energy. We're not jittery type of energy.
Yes, and I do sleep much better and deeper at night and have very vivid dreams. Very vivid dreams. So it really helps me go to sleep. I go to sleep a lot faster now at night when I'm wearing a patch. I'll wear them at night too. I like to wear a patch 24/7.
I sleep with mine on too. I rarely ever take them off before bed. I feel like I sleep better when I leave them on.
There is
Yeah.
something to do with the body. I really
Yeah.
do think it is.
Yeah, it's fascinating that you mentioned about dreams, because I notice my dreams are very vivid, and it's almost like when you wake up, you actually were in an experience, like you were experiencing, and it becomes so real. It becomes so, like you said, vivid, compared to before wearing the patches.
Do you ever dream cinematically? I do. Well, I was dreaming cinematically before the patch, but now every night I'm dreaming of a movie. You know, it has a beginning and an end, and a plot and everything. It was so funny. Last night I dreamt that I was doing a radio show in my hometown, but it was a variety show. And people were doing their talents on my show, and I wasn't doing much talking. And it was really interesting, that dream. But I was wearing my patch. And I woke up. And the main thing about dreaming is how do you feel when you wake up the next morning? If you
Right.
feel really good, which I do when I wear the patch, I wake up feeling good about the dream. If you're having a nightmare, then you wake up feeling horrible, you know. And I used to have nightmares, but I don't have a nightmare when I'm wearing a patch. I've noticed that. I
Interesting.
have only good dreams, or dreams that make me feel good when I wake up from the dream, the after effect. And so I try to keep a dream diary by my bed. I kind of, you know, forget sometimes to write things down, because if you don't write it down immediately, you do tend to forget, you know, the details of the dream.
Interesting.
You
Wow.
know?
Yeah,
Maybe I
that
should
is-
start.
down.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Wendy.
Oh, I was gonna say that is very, very interesting, that about the bad dreams. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that, because I know I dream a lot more, and now that you mention it, I do think my dreams are a lot
You-
better.
you-
Like, you know, not having bad dreams. Me and Joseph talked about how since wearing the Nirvana, we both tend to like randomly just want to like giggle and like laugh. Do you remember saying that? Almost
I do.
like you just feel this like happy, funny, like, I don't know. So maybe that's, you're all during the day, you're feeling that way. And then then at night, you're kind of dreaming more happy thoughts.
Right. It's the kind of feeling that you get when you're watching a comedian and they make you laugh.
Yeah, you want to giggle for no reason.
Right. You just want to giggle for no reason. And I noticed that about 3 days into the Nirvana, after wearing the Nirvana, because I wear the Nirvana right up in my chest too, like kind of similar to where you have yours there, a little bit below my thyroid. And yeah, it was weird. Just having, like, I suffered from not PTSD, but something similar from like a traumatic event that happened in my life. And every time I would be doing something that was similar to what caused it in the first place, it would trigger some anxiety. And I noticed that disappeared after wearing the patch, after being on Nirvana with like 3-4 days. It was like, wow, is this really happening? You know, because you don't even bring, like, nothing, the bad thought doesn't come into your mind. It doesn't trigger it. And if it does, you just start laughing. Like, it's like, oh, wow, that's so stupid. You know, like, why would that even make me have fear before? And now you just laugh at it and like, that's so silly. You know, it's like you just shrug your shoulders. And that's the effect of the patch, because it's changing how your mind is, how it's hardwired somehow, and the frequency and the vibrations is resetting it to a time when, you know, you just, it's hard to explain with certain feelings. I mean, the pain, okay, you can get rid of the pain. The energy, you know, you have more energy. Like when you wake up in the morning, you know, you don't feel like you want to go back to bed. You just stay awake and you just keep staying awake. You don't have that, oh, I'm so tired, I want to go back to sleep. But with Nirvana, it just makes you able to feel good throughout the entire day, even though you're seeing like negative stuff come across your screen or your message, or, you know, you don't like totally just get out of your control, or, like it doesn't completely take you out. It might, for like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, somebody cuts you off. If you're driving, you're going to react, but then you just kind of get back into that nice feeling. That's what I found.
Or maybe you want to flag them down on the road and say, hi.
Exactly.
I'd like to make a friend. I love the way you cut me off, but it didn't affect me at all because I just want to give you a hug. Unless they have a gun. Hopefully, I don't know if I recommend that. They could have a gun. They may think that you're trying to,
Oh no. No, I wanted to hear what she was saying.
That is so true.
You know it's working if you're hanging around people that you haven't been able to stand before, yet you're able to hang around them now.
It is so true. This
could solve a lot of problems with relationships.
Well, my ex-wives, I'm very amicable with my ex-wives now, more than I was before.
I bet they wonder why.
Yeah, right. Well, I told them about the patches, just to kind of say, hey.
They're probably saying, why didn't you wear those 20 years ago?
They weren't around.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to. Well,
stay away from me. You may want to get back with me, and I really want to move on in my life now. We can be friends. We can be good friends.
That's one of the things that Wendy and I kind of have this debate from time to time, is that the patches don't make somebody go from, say, a narcissist to an empath, to be very selfish and self-centered, to being very loving and altruistic and giving, and generous. It doesn't do that. It's just, in some cases, you just don't react with as much rage as quickly. And that's sort of one of the things, because my personality, and I've shared this before, many years ago, I was very narcissistic. I had that self-centered mind where I didn't really care about anything else. I had this ego, and I didn't want to surrender my pride. I just was like, hey, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and this is the way it is. And if you don't like it, see ya, that kind of a thing. But before the patches, I started to learn how to get rid of that old personality, because I hated that person, and become more of a loving, empathic, fellow feeling for other people, caring for other people, and wanting to help other people. And that's when I started seeing changes with like my business, my relationships, people in general are more receptive. And then the patches just amplified that, if that makes sense.
I feel like the patches kind of more, they help you overcome, in a way, reactions to things that you feel like when you feel like you're out of control sometimes. When you're wearing the patch, you are able to respond to situations the way you wished you could have before, because for some reason your brain just thinks at the same speed. It's not like an afterthought. Like as it's happening, you're kind of dealing with things the way you wish you would have before, because things just seem to be working better. You're thinking about, like, the reaction, like you were saying, seems to be the anger reaction just seems to be a lot slower. It's not saying that it's not existent, but it's slower, so you can think before you act instead of act before you think.
I have to say also, there are physiological changes that we will start to see. I mean, just in your face, in your body, just overall, your metabolism. I mean, I've changed in my metabolism. I've lost weight, literally. I mean, I've lost belly fat. I've lost, just like the extra fat that hangs from your face or whatever. I mean, people can't guess my age. Nobody ever has guessed my real age. And same thing with Wendy, she'll be with people or I'll be with people. In fact, I was someplace where I actually challenged the person. I said, hey, if you can guess my age spot on, I'm going to give you a whole month worth of patches free. And they said, almost 10, 15 years less than what I really am. So I should have given them probably a free patch anyway, just because it was a compliment.
Oh, I would have.
I know, I know, and that's really what you're going to start to see. The more it's a cumulative effect. The longer we are wearing these patches, as Wendy was saying earlier, it's like when you were a kid and you were growing, having growth spurts. Here, you're having spurts of returning or resetting to a younger version. I just hope I don't go back to my original weight, 9 pounds, 2 ounces. Gotcha.
That's a big baby.
I know, right? Yeah, that's
9
what my mother
pounds.
said.
Wow, that's a big baby.
Well, it's boys. I guess they need more time to grow certain body parts or whatever they say. But that's what my mother said. So who knows? So, what other patches are you sampling, and what other patches do you intend to sample?
Me? Well, I want to sample all of them, but I've only gotten to the Nirvana and the X39. And the X39, they say that's the biggie because it encompasses everything. And I think it does. It really helps me out with everything. But I will sample the other patches because I'm curious about them. And I do know Nirvana did help me a lot, and I ran out of it. I got to order me some more Nirvana on my next order. I've got to get me some Nirvana.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, LifeWave has been around for a little over 15 years, but the X39 really was the game changer for them in 2019, because that's when I heard about it, toward the end of 2019. And then now, this whole year of 2020, I really haven't had much anxiety with COVID or not, COVID-19 or any of the issues with the virus or anything, just because of all the benefits that wearing a lot of the different patches, at least in my body. I wear glutathione. That helps with antioxidant. That's a high antioxidant boost. Carnosine, which is for muscle growth. And, there's other patches that stimulate different things in your body. However, there are habits that we want to educate people on, just like not having OCD, but, basically washing your hands. And, if you shake hands with somebody or you come in close contact, it's good practice to social distance with people that you don't know, that are strangers. I mean, obviously, I don't have a temperature. I'm not sick. Wendy, you don't have a temperature. You're not sick. Leah, you don't have a temperature. You're not sick. We could all hang out together because we would say, hey, I'm okay. But the screening process of helping people to know if they are, what do you call it? Non-symptomatic, where if they don't show the symptoms, but they might have some virus or something. That is, I think, what a lot of people this whole last 6 months have been in fear of. It's like, how do I know that if I go on a plane? I mean, you've flown on a plane, Leah. Did you have any second thoughts, or were you like, you fly quite frequently? So like, what is your
I just fly Southwest Airlines, and they really clean the plane, and I wear a mask, and I'm just very careful. And they set people, they don't set someone in the middle aisle. So you either take the aisle seat or the window seat, and there's no one in the middle, and everyone keeps to themselves. They don't talk to each other. So I've been on the plane probably 5 or 6 times, still don't have any symptoms of COVID, nothing, no sickness of nothing, whatever. And, I really think it's people get COVID if they're around in close proximity to people with running a fever. I think they get it when they're around people in closed spaces. I think it's important to stay in ventilated spaces, not to go walking into some little dinky place with a bunch of people with no ventilation.
That's a good point. I mean, that's just good habit, good hygiene, good best practice,
Right.
So let's do this, guys. I mean, we could talk all day, but I wanted to let you promote your radio show, Leah. What time, and tell us, do you know the topic of your radio this upcoming broadcast?
It's going to be really interesting. It's a repeat show, but it's very interesting. The guy's been on my show several times. In fact, I've helped him build his business because he's been on my show He's had his show several times, like 2 or 3 times a year. He'll do a show with me. So people in the area know him very well now. And he's a remodeler, and he does something really unique. The show is going to air this Sunday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, which I don't know what it is in your time zone, but in my time zone, I live in Texas, it's Central Standard Time at 6 o'clock p.m. So it's only an hour show, and he's going to be talking, I'm interviewing him, and he's talking about how to really renovate your bathroom or kitchen for pennies on the dollar by using his material, which is really great. And he's built his business. He's now a very busy man with his business because he does have his show frequently on, he's featured frequently on my show, just like even with your show. You would definitely want to have a show 2 or 3 times a year, because then people really know that you're not a fly-by-night, not a fly-by-night. In fact, I was going to just do a show myself about the patch. But then I feel, well, no, I really can't do a show by myself. I should have my team with me and do a show like maybe before the end of the year, like around Christmas time. That way they could utilize the patch as a gift for someone, a gift for good health for someone,
That's actually, it's interesting because Wendy and I were talking about that just yesterday, and we could talk, off camera, off air, and maybe, do something. We could do some different things, because that's kind of one of the things that Wendy and I would like to do also, to appear back on your show, to be back on your show again, and also to maybe do what we're doing is a patch party, where people it's a Zoom where they can pretty much come in, watch, and we talk a bit more about the patch. But instead of having a home demonstration of how the patch works, we would do it online. And, we would basically patch, right? Like we would take our patches out and say, okay, here is where you would place the X39, and give maybe, a few spots, like maybe if you wanted to be part of it, you could do, say, X39. Wendy, you could do Nirvana. I could do another patch, so we could all have different people to show the different patches where you place them, the placement of the patch. And then people could sign up. When they register, if they wanted a free patch, they could request a free patch, and we could all share in those leads, as, depends how many people we can broadcast out to. But so that's sort of our idea of a patch party. The patch party is really a demonstration of LifeWave's patches, because typically without COVID, you would invite people to your house, and I'd have people, or at a venue, we could rent a hotel or rent some space and just put out an ad, even on your radio show, and say, hey, we're going to do a live patch party. Hey, that's an idea. We could even use that as a platform. That could be one of the ads, to do a patch party. You're invited, and we would become a traveling patch show.
Well, I think it's so appropriate now, especially that everything is online, and to survive, all businesses should be online. Mm-hmm. And what we're doing is very appropriate and very timely, and very I think very much the new mode. What we're doing, I think it's great. This streaming thing, it's wonderful. It really is. It's great.
We like it, and we think it's the future. We think this is how we're going to be able to connect. We just need to get an audience, and that's kind of our goal, is to get a health and wellness audience all over the world. LifeWave is all over the world, and people should be conscious of. I mean, you can't force people to be healthy. If they want to do what they do, that's their business, but we're only looking to help teach people. So anyhow, guys, I think that is a wrap for today. We kind of went a little bit over time. I apologize, but it was great to see you, Leah. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Yes, it was nice to see you again, Leah.
It's good to see you again and be able to talk to you like this. I feel like I'm in the
Yes.
same room with you.
I
And
know.
let's plan on doing something on air in December, because people can mail these patches in the Christmas card and give them a gift of health, without having to wrap a gift or whatever. You just mail it.
Joseph and I were even talking about sometimes when you leave somebody a tip at a restaurant, wouldn't it be kind of a cool idea to giving them a patch that's worth $5 that, you know, it's not only worth money, but it can give them more energy. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what you were saying, Leah. Like, you know, I mean, you could put any value on it you want. You could $5, $10 per patch. The street value of a sleeve of X39 is $149. That's the retail street value. So if you divide that by 30, that tells you pretty much, it's like buying a Starbucks, a grande or something. It's like, so yeah. So anyhow, guys, thank you, and I will post this, and I will send you a copy of this link so you can share it for replay purposes.
Thank you so much, Joseph. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad that you do this every day, don't you?
We do a smaller, shorter version every day, like 5-10 minutes. So but because we had you on as a special featured guest, we wanted to kind of give you, opportunity to kind of share your story and, learn a little bit more about what made you start patching. So we patch together, birds of a feather patch together, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. I guess I have to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye, everybody. All love you too.
Keep doing. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.